In the unforgiving arena of professional football, where triumphs are etched in glory and setbacks in grit, the Dallas Cowboys faced a blow that transcended the field. A profound, gut-wrenching loss that cast a pall over the entire organization. Marshawn Kneeland, the promising defensive end whose raw talent and infectious energy had already marked him as a rising star, passed away at the heartbreakingly young age of 24, leaving behind a void that words struggled to fill. His death, ruled an apparent suicide following a tense vehicle pursuit and multi-agency search, sent shockwaves through the league, but it was quarterback Dak Prescott's raw, unfiltered eulogy that crystallized the collective grief, transforming personal anguish into a universal call for empathy and awareness. Dak, the steady hand at the helm of the Cowboys' offense since joining the team in 2016, didn't mince words or hide behind platitudes when confronting the media. In an interview that laid bare the soul of a leader grappling with the incomprehensible, he described the day as very tough, his voice cracking under the weight of unspoken sorrows. Tragic loss, I hurt, heavy heart today, he confessed, the repetition underscoring the depth of his pain. It wasn't just about losing a teammate, it was a visceral ache for Marshawn as an individual, for the family shattered in an instant, for the girlfriend left to navigate an unimaginable emptiness, and for every brother in arms now questioning the fragility of their shared world. Dak's litany of hurts wove a tapestry of interconnected mourning, reminding listeners that grief in a team sport is never solitary, it's a chain reaction, binding players in bonds forged through sweat and strategy. This is a pain you don't wish upon anybody, Dak continued, his words a somber echo of humanity's shared vulnerability. He wished aloud that none of them, neither the living nor the departed, had to endure such torment, a sentiment that peeled back the armor of the athlete to reveal the man beneath. Marshawn's story, one of draft day dreams realized in the 2024 NFL selection, had barely begun. Selected by the Cowboys, he embodied the fresh-faced optimism of rookies everywhere, his defensive prowess a promise of gridiron dominance. Yet, in a cruel twist, his life ended amid circumstances that the Frisco Police Department detailed with clinical detachment. A pursuit escalating into a search, officers alerted to suicidal ideations that, in hindsight, scream of silent battles fought alone. For Dak, a veteran who stared down injuries, interceptions, and the relentless pressure of Dallas expectations, this loss was uniquely triggering. Balancing the maelstrom of emotions, shock, sorrow, anger, helplessness, while maintaining the composure demanded of a franchise quarterback tested his mettle like no sack or fumble ever could. Yet, in his vulnerability he found strength, turning the microphone into a megaphone for healing. Just thankful for each moment we have in this life, he urged, his voice a lifeline extended to fans and fellow players alike. Don't take it for granted. Hug and love on those that you do. These weren't rehearsed soundbites but pearls of wisdom distilled from the crucible of loss. A reminder that amid the roar of crowds and the clash of helmets, life's true scoreboard tallies the connections we nurture. Dak's acknowledgement that it's okay to feel how you're feeling was perhaps his most revolutionary statement. A green light for emotional authenticity in a sport that often glorifies stoicism. Football, with its hypermasculine ethos, has long stigmatized mental health discussions, but Dak's candor chips away at that facade. As a leader who's inked massive contracts and led comebacks from the brink, his willingness to say, I hurt, normalizes the spectrum of feelings, inviting teammates to lean on each other rather than suffer in silence. Marshawn's tragedy, heartbreaking as it is, becomes a catalyst through Dak's lens, not just a statistic in the league's somber history, but a clarion call for proactive support. To understand the ripple effects, one must zoom out to the Cowboys' locker room dynamic, a microcosm of brotherhood where personalities clash and coalesce into unity. Marshawn, with his explosive pass rushes and off-field charisma, had quickly integrated, his laughter a counterpoint to the intensity of drills. Dak, ever the motivator, likely mentored him through the hazing of rookies, sharing stories of his own ascent from Mississippi State walk-on to NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Their bond, though nascent, was real, forged in the shared language of plays called and weights lifted. Losing him feels like a chapter ripped from an unfinished playbook, leaving the team to rewrite their narrative with grief as the ink. The police report's stark details, a pursuit born of concern turning dire, underscore the urgency of mental health resources in athletics. The NFL, with initiatives like the Player Care Foundation, has made strides, but Dak's words highlight the gaps. The ideations that fester unseen, the pursuits that end in tragedy rather than rescue. His reflection isn't accusatory but imploring, urging a cultural shift where vulnerability is valor. You wish Marshawn didn't have to go through what he went through, Dak said, humanizing the departed and indicting the isolation that can engulf even the most surrounded souls. In the days following, Dak's message resonated beyond Dallas, echoing in team meetings, fan forums, and therapy sessions. Teammates, from Micah Parsons' defensive fire to CeeDee Lamb's receiving grace, echoed his sentiments, their unified voices a chorus of resolve. Off the field, Dak's faith and family anchor him, but this loss tests those foundations, compelling him to advocate louder for those teetering on edges unseen. Marshawn's legacy, though brief, is indelible, a spark of potential extinguished too soon, but kindled anew in the conversations he inspires. Dak's tribute ensures that transforming personal lament into communal legacy. In football's brutal ballet where bodies break and spirits soar, Dak reminds us, the game is played not just for yards gained but for hearts held close. Thankful for each moment, indeed, may it be a mantra that saves the next. Expanding this narrative, consider the broader implications for the NFL's mental health landscape. Dak's platform, amplified by the Cowboys' massive fanbase, positions him as a de facto ambassador. His past openness about anxiety and depression, shared in memoirs and interviews, lends credibility to this moment, framing it not as a one-off but part of an ongoing dialogue. Initiatives like the league's 24/7 crisis hotline gain traction through such authenticity, potentially altering trajectories for countless players. For the Cowboys, the season ahead is shadowed, practices laced with what-ifs. Yet, Dak's leadership, rallying through huddles with renewed purpose, will be the glue. Memorials, whether jersey retiral or foundation in Marshawn's name, will honor him, but it's the lived changes, more check-ins, fewer stigmas, that endure. In closing, Dak Prescott's words on that heavy-hearted day weren't just mourning, they were medicine. A quarterback's pass can win games, but his voice can win lives. In remembering Marshawn, we recommit to presence, to hugs over highlights, ensuring no pursuit ends in silence.